Hi there. Today I'd like to share with you some things that I purchased at some estate sales. And I purchased them to primarily resell them on the internet. And I like to just go over a few things. And like this is the first thing I got. Super cool. And it was today's Sunday. And on Sundays they give half off usually at estate sales and usually get it for less. I saw this and it kind of caught my eye. Um, it's it's very heavy and it's got little doors and everything. Um, and all you do is you just, when you see something like this, you don't know what it is. It's okay because you just literally can pull out your phone and do a scan on it with Google Images, and it tells you what it is. And this one says antique 1890s Mindanao, Philippines nut box, bronze with silver inlay. Again, I had never seen like this before, but it looked super cool. And they wanted $140. Half off was 70, and she brought it down to 60. So, uh, looking online, these things are pretty good, probably $500 to $600. So it was a good little find, and it's going to take a while to sell, but it's super cool. Um, we also got this vase. Um, it's signed and it has a good texture, good feel to it. It's not just a quick cheap vase. I did the same thing what I did there, just scanned it and looked and found some comps on it, and it looks like it's worth like $200. And it was $68, and we got half 34, and then she marked it down to 20. So again, it was a good find. Um, then you find little things like this. This is super cute. This is just nothing fancy. We got it for $3. It's a Yadro, so that's a pretty good brand. Might sell for $40 or $50, but it's super small, easy to manage, and it's really cute to keep it home, during the interim. So that's where we got this. It just goes to what degree you want to take it. This was a dish. It's didn't look like anything special. It was in a estate sale, and they were getting ready to close. And this had been for 3 days. No one had even looked at it, or at least they may have looked at it, but they certainly didn't buy it. And she literally, the estate person just said, I think we bought quite a few of these. Um, and we basically paid like $1 a dish. And scanning, um, this one dish right here, after scanning and researching, it took a while. You had to kind of sort through the scans. It's worth about $225. So it was a definitely good deal. And literally all through the time, the sale, no one bought it. So that's kind of what we do there. So when we purchase, I'm just trying to kind of digress a little bit and showing what I do first, and then kind of going into some details. When we purchase it, you have to evaluate. I mean, sometimes, you're not looking for treasures per se. You're just looking to have a business because it's doubtful you're going to get rich quick or find a gold coin that's worth something, huge. You're just going to find things, and it's a very straightforward living, and it's out there everywhere. And um, we look for anything from regular items, like could be a everyday thing like a freezer. We can go if you want to go large, or you can just look for knickknacks like these because there's money in knickknacks. So, so when you get them, when you go to the estate sale, don't rush there and be there first thing in the morning on a Saturday, and racing with everyone else. There's plenty of money in the leftovers. My wife and I do this, and we've actually turned it into a larger business. Um, and we go on Sundays after almost 2 hours away from closing, and we find the items and there's plenty of things. It's all this stuff had been there for this was the third day, and it was available readily. Just go there, take your time, evaluate it. Look what it's worth, look what they're asking, and you're not looking for, like I said, a home run. You're just looking for a nice profit that's going to pave the way to your business. And depending on the size of the space you want to utilize, whether it's a closet in your house or a room, or like we have two warehouses. Anything can accommodate. It can accommodate any size business. Like this stuff here is, several $100s in profit. And it was just, an hour's worth of work to find it, a couple hours of listing and then waiting to sell. So when you go there, just kind of walk through. It's always fun to go to estate sales. You find things for yourself. Like today, we found some things that we wanted. We found something, a nice blanket for our dogs. We found a supplemental speaker for our television. Just cool stuff. And we don't have to go and spend a ton of money getting it either. So also, don't underestimate the unusual items. If you find something like this that there no one wanted, just take time to research it. Everyone else is like, oh, it's way too much for a little trinket box, but give it a chance. It may surprise you. Also, evaluate the condition of the items. If it's electronics, test it. If it's something like this, like this, just take a look. And I did notice, there was a little chip here on the bow missing, so that's going to hurt the value a little bit. But still, it's still got a good value to it because just because it has an imperfection does not mean it doesn't sell. Yes, it's going to get for less, but evaluate it. So when we saw it, we go, oh, okay. We saw that and we paid accordingly. So that's just take your time and look at like this. I didn't know what this was, but I made sure that everything, the hinges were working and everything was there because paying that amount for a small metal box, you might be a little you want to make sure you're not just wasting your money. And then also what I do when I purchase something is I look for comps, just like I did, on when I scan this box. You can look from many ways. Scanning it with the photo Google image is not the only way. It's a good starter, but it's also it's a supplemental tool. Once I find out what it is, if Google Images shows me an image, and then that's it, and it gives a name, then I'm going to go on eBay and search for that name, and I'm going to see what it's selling for truly. And so it's just look for comps, look for comparable items of the same, similar or the same, and see what they're going for, and just take a look. That's important because you might see something that's really cool. We did this all the time, like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. It's like $8 on eBay. So it's not, just take a look and get to make sure you're getting your money's worth. And also, make sure your profit margins are there to sustain. I mean, if you bought a vase like this, and it's not giving its actual value, let's say, but let's say you bought it for $10 and sold it for $60, and you had to ship it, that would be worthwhile. You're not going to get rich, but it's sustainability. And then you often get these things where you buy them for like 60 and you sell them for 500 in 3 months, 4 months. That's a good return. But you can make, and all of this stuff would fit in a closet. So then once you get it, once you've acquired the item, you want to decide which platform you're going to use to sell it. You're going to sell it on eBay, you're going to sell it on Craigslist, and Etsy, Facebook, anything. You have to decide the right platform. That's almost as critical as, purchasing the item. Because this is not going to go on Craigslist. I mean, 95% chance it's not going to go because your audience, it's a local, I know it's posted everywhere, but once it picks up, once Google picks it up on the search engine, but the bottom line is it's a local thing. Probably not going to sell. Maybe take 10 years and you might get it. You put this on eBay and it will probably sell in 2 to 3 months. And plus you're going to get a lot more money because there's a lot wider audience. So know what platform, that's critical. So this would be on eBay. It's small, it's heavy, but that's no biggie. It's easy to ship and it's easy to pack as far as breakage and stuff. So that's eBay. Now, like when let's say you go a little bigger and you do a washer dryer or a freezer. We only do those because we have the warehouses and there's great return on those. And oftentimes people they take them away because they're moving or the business is going out of business, and we sell them for several $100s. So and that's a Craigslist item. You don't want to sell on eBay because you don't want to ship it. That would just eat up all the profit. Again, this eBay, Craigslist, you might sell it. You might get lucky because this is pretty cute, but you're not going to get nearly the money, and it's just easier on eBay, and it's super easy to ship. This same thing, because this is a signed kind of unique face, you're probably not going to get someone that really wants it locally. Um, you never know, but again, we've been in this business for a long time, and I would probably not even bother putting it on Craigslist. Just eBay. It ships. It's very solid. We pack it well. This definitely eBay, because this is a very specialty item. It's a very old plate. This is like, we looked this one up, and um, this is a Japanese Amari ceramic charger. I'm sorry, I call it a plate, but it's a charger. And I didn't know what chargers were until a few years ago, but that's what this is. So definitely eBay, Craigslist, you'd just be wasting your time. Um, so once you decide your platform, it's listing it. Okay. When you list it, when you actually list it, so let's say you choose eBay. When you list it, you really have to take your time. Don't focus on other things, and don't just try to blow it out there and just take a picture and list it. Take your time. Get to know it. Um, it. Look at all the aspects of it. Like with this thing, look at all these little lids open up, and then look inside and just check the functionality. Because on something, if someone's going to spend $500 for a little box that I've never heard of, that they have, we better take the time to list it appropriately. So get to know it. Look for imperfections, and look for functionality. So like this, if there's a little scratch or there seems to be a little dimple here, I'm going to take a close up and I'm going to include it, because I don't want it coming back. That's even more of a hassle. And I just want to show its strengths and weaknesses, and especially its weaknesses. That sounds kind of odd, but you want to show everything, so when the person gets it, like, oh, it's great, because I thought it was this and that. I thought the dent looked worse, but oh, I just saw that it has a little price tag of $450 from when it first sold, probably a long time ago. So that's actually motivating. I didn't even see that. So post it. Post inside. Inside. Go. I noticed there's a little deeper compartment here than that. So try to get in there. Post underneath. Probably take the price tag off, but keep it in your record so you kind of have um, just kind of get to know it. And post it accordingly, and take lots of pictures. I think eBay allows 24 pictures. Try to use all 24 up. If it's a simple item like this vase, I might use 5 or 7 pictures. This, I'd expend as many pictures as I had. It doesn't cost any more. So, and then list it accurately. Do the measurements. Take the measurements. Take the time to do the measurements. Everything like that. So just describe everything you know about it. I always tell people that work with me, I said, make that item a superstar when you're listing it. Don't focus on other things. Sell only that, and just list the heck out of it, and just really make it everything it is. And whether good or bad, just focus on everything. So that's a good thing. And then it's good to keep records. I mean, it's a very good thing. So log where you got it. Even the address, just because it's always good to have a trail. Log the address, what date you bought it, how much you paid for it. And when you do that, that's just common sense. Because like, let's say you're going to have 50 items, and time's going to go by. Let's say, I don't remember what I paid for this. So someone offers you, it's been listed, you haven't got any bites, someone offers you $350, and you're thinking, and I've done this, I'm always saying this from experience, and thinking, $350, that's pretty good, but I know I paid a lot for that. Did I pay $300 or $50 or $1? And you go back to your logs, and it seems obvious, but when you get a lot of items, like we've gotten to a point where we have 8,000 items, and we've computerized everything, and we know, but I got reasonably big, and I was kind of just doing it off the cuff and saying, remembering, and that doesn't work. So when someone offers you, log it in. Log the details. And also another thing, which you're probably going to think is a little silly, no matter what size, log where you put it. Because I've been on safaris searching for things that I sold, and I was sure I knew where it was, and it's not there. So whether it's in a warehouse, like in the warehouse, we have the shelf, the section, the level, everything, that's fine. Or if it's something in our house, sometimes we take things home. Like I might display the space at home because it's pretty cool. I'm going to log where it is. I'm going to in the computer. I'm going to write it down or whatever. I'm going to log it in the computer and say this is at home, in the dining room cabinet. on the fourth shelf, whatever. I know that's crazy, but you're going to thank me for this a couple of years from now. It's just very important. And when you move it, log it, because when you have 10 things, it's okay. But even if you don't, you might move something at work. You'd be surprised how quickly it gets lost. So go ahead and do that. That's a really good thing. Um, once once you get it, once like if you sell on eBay, um, then you got to ship it. 99% of the time. Sometimes there's local pickup, but you got to ship it. Again, people are intimidated by shipping and packing, and it's not difficult. So like this, when you pack it, just pack it well. Secure everything. Make sure there's no rattles, and then wrap it, and then put it in a box with extra padding. Don't try to fit it in. Make it a perfect shoe fit. You want buffer around it. Always insure it, and always ship it with tracking. eBay's pretty much automated that way. Um, and and just mail it out. Try to mail it out timely because you have certain time windows. But just and then your sale's done, and then that's basically it. If it's a Craigslist item, we sell tons of stuff on Craigslist. They come most of the time. They come. They meet. They look at it, and again, I've described everything. So when they get there, there's no it's got that dent on it or something. They describe everything. They might negotiate a little bit on price, but they buy it. So whatever your method is for selling it, shipping, in person, whatever, it all works. So, and again, to conclude, you can do this to any scale. You could do it to just 10 items and a few, or start with one. It doesn't take any time. It's not taking any expenses, more than just the item and a little time. Or you can, go to a whole closet or a room, a storage unit, or warehouse, or whatever size you want. You could start with any dollar amount, whether it's whether it's like $3, or whether you want to blow 50 or 60 or whatever. But anyway, that's it for now, and I hope this was helpful, and thank you for watching my video.